Moments with God, a time of reflection for every day.
July 10th. Let him cast the first stone. So when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself, and said unto them, He that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her. And again he stooped down and wrote on the ground. John 8:7 and 8.
The victim trembled with fear. The accusers waited for an answer, but the rabbi seemed unwilling to address the situation. Impatient with his delay, the accusers approached to force the matter upon his attention. But when their eyes fell upon the floor, their faces changed expression. There, laid out before them, were the guilty secrets of their own lives. The accusers had the worst sins, but unlike the accused, they weren't being accused. Unlike her, they hadn't been exposed. Unlike her, they weren't ordinary people, but princes of the nation and teachers of religion. They had no moral standing to condemn the adulteress, since they had sins equal to and worse than this on their record. And since no one knew it, they posed as guardians of the faith. But when they looked at the floor where Jesus' finger had traced the words, their faces were filled with astonishment and shame. There were the secrets of their sinful souls laid bare, and what their hypocrisy concealed. There on the floor was written the evil they practiced.
Then Jesus stood up and looked at the plotting elders and said, Let him who is without sin among you be the first to throw a stone at her. Then he stooped down and wrote on the ground.
Those who claimed to be guardians of the law were breaking the law itself. They hadn't brought evidence of the crime, since the law stipulated that to stone an adulteress, 2 witnesses must be present to testify about the matter, and they must be the ones to throw the first stones. The husband had to be a witness, so they could accuse her of adultery, but he wasn't there. Besides, if they supposedly found her in flagrant sin, where was the man with whom she was committing the act? Why did they bring only her? For these things showed that the law they claimed to honor, they themselves were breaking. And as expected, no one could cast the first stone. They couldn't maintain their holy posture. And if they didn't leave the place, all the people watching attentively would learn of their sins, which were written on the ground. So, one by one, quietly, tiptoeing, and trailing, they left the place.
In the eyes of the world, a religious person may appear holy and good, but in the eyes of God, who searches the depths of the heart, all his actions are laid bare and evaluated against the great divine standard. There, before the judge of the earth, no sin is hidden, no injustice goes unpunished. There, man cannot point the finger at another who has fallen, because his life is also filled with guilt.
How can you point the finger of blame if your conscience isn't immaculately pure? How can you claim to be a guardian of the word of the Lord if you secretly violate its principles? No human being can throw the first stone at their brother. There are no righteous people on earth who have never sinned. There are no people who do only good. Therefore, one can only submit to the grace of God, where we can all receive forgiveness. Amen.
Thank you for listening to this audio. We invite you to share with your contacts and visit the website BibleWell.com.